All right, so we just finished up week 1. Let's go ahead and hop on the scales and see how you did.
Scale this morning is 291.2. This is Karen.
It says 194.2.
We have some standings. So after 1 week, in 6th place, down 0.8 pounds, 0.39%, Miss Sam. In 5th place, down 1.8 pounds, 1.01%, Beth. In 4th place, down 3 pounds, 1.55%, Christina. In 3rd place, down 5.4 pounds, 1.82%, Karen. In 2nd place, down 4.6 pounds, 2.31%, Stephanie. Which means in 1st place, down 5.2 pounds, 2.42%, Cliff. Yay. What we are going to talk about tonight, we're actually going to lead right into what we're going to talk about. And this is in over 20 years of working with people, okay? When I see people succeed and I see people fail, 99.9% of the time it boils down to either they have this or they don't. And whenever I'm working with a client, whether it's in weight loss, whether it's in business, whether it's in marriage, whatever it is, the ones who are struggling don't have this. They lack this. They've forgotten this. They have forsaken this. They have somehow mistakenly thought this wasn't a big deal. And it is a huge deal. And so what we're going to talk about tonight, and I'm going to go ahead and say this, it is impossible to succeed long-term without this. Okay. Now we're going to apply it to your health, but here's what I'm going to tell you. Most of the things we're going to talk about in most of these weeks, it also applies to every area of your life, because success principles are success principles. And the same success principles it takes to build a business are the same ones it takes to lose weight. The same ones it takes to lose weight are the same ones it takes to have a good marriage. And so they're all related. Okay. They're all related. So I'm going to obviously tie this to health, but what I'm telling you is the same thing we're going to talk about. I've used to build a good marriage. We've used to create wealth. We've used to build multiple businesses. We've used this same thing. And it was the same thing. In fact, when I started losing weight, I had grown a business from a startup to over $9 million in my early 20s. And it was like, I took those business principles and applied them to weight loss. I applied them, the same thing I used to build a team, to have self-discipline, to have consistency. I used them to lose weight because I thought, well, it worked over here. Let's see how it works here. All right. And so every week kind of stacks on top of each other. And every week, you're going to walk away with a different tool inside of your toolbox that is not only going to help you lose the weight, but it's going to help you maintain it. Let me adjust this. There we go. So tonight, we're going to be talking about your vision. Okay. Tonight, we're going to be talking about your vision. For those of you that have the same faith that I do, you know, in the best success book ever written, that it says a man without a vision will perish. Now, can someone help tell me what perish means? Like, what does perish mean, to perish?
To die is what comes to my mind.
You are exactly correct, Cliff. It means, that's what perish means. It means, so what it's saying is a man without a vision, a man or woman without a vision is basically dead, is what it's saying. And it's not obviously saying necessarily physically dead, but emotionally dead, mentally dead. And so your vision or lack thereof is directly related to your health, to your weight loss success, to your health success, to having this be the year that you finally kick those pesky pounds to the curb and you say no more. That this would be your last Monday was your last day one ever. And so if I were to ask all of you the question, if failure wasn't an option, what would your butt look like? If failure wasn't an option, what would your health look like? If failure wasn't an option, what would your closet, what would your wardrobe look like? If failure wasn't an option, what would your bathing suits look like? If failure wasn't an option, what would your next family photo shoot look like? If failure wasn't an option, what would your sex life look like for those of you that are married? Because if you're married, hopefully you have a vision for what that looks like. I guarantee most of you are all of you married? Is anybody not married? Oh, this is perfect. Okay. So before you got married, did you have an idea of what you wanted your marriage to look like? Did you have an idea of what you wanted your sex life to look like when you were young and horny? I know that we get older, we have kids, we get more mature, whatever. So we had this vision of what it was going to look like. And then what happens over time, if we're not careful, if we're not intentional, what happens over time is life happens, failure happens, busyness happens. We no longer think about what the future looks like, and we're just spending all of our time trying to manage all the crap we've got going on. We're spending all of our time trying to just get our head above water so we're not sinking, to juggle all the balls, to manage everything that we've got going on. And what I'm going to tell you is all those questions that I asked you, if failure wasn't an option, what would your health look like? We've got to be able to answer that. And so often when I'm working with clients, they'll, and I can remember being somebody who was like, oh man, like as somebody who prays, I was just like, I would hear about things like vision. And I would hear people say things like, I'm waiting on the Lord, I'm just waiting on the Lord. And so I thought, oh, okay, I just need to pray for a vision. I just need to ask for a vision. And I had this like misconception that all of a sudden this vision was going to like drop out of the sky. And I was going to have this clear vision of who I was supposed to be, what I was supposed to do, the impact I was supposed to have. And I literally waited for years. Like I waited for years for this vision to magically come down. And guess what? It never came. The vision never showed up. And so when I started, and here's what happens if we're not careful, because the society that we live in, we're either typically two different parts, right? A lot of people go to Disney and they believe in the happily ever after, but then they don't work for it. There's no action behind it. Or we get this type of attitude of, well, I don't want to get my hopes up, because what if I get all excited about this biggest transformation thing? And what if I tell everybody what I'm doing? And what if I get really excited? And, what if like I'm the exception to the rule? What if I'm the first person to break it? What if it doesn't work? What if I tell people and then it doesn't work and then I'm going to look stupid? Or I'm going to look like a fool, or what will everybody think? So it's like, I don't want to get my hopes up, because what if it doesn't work? I don't want to get my hopes up because what if it fails, or what if I fail? And so when I finally had the realization or the revelation that no, like a vision is built. It's not given, it is built. And the way a vision starts is it starts off really small. And as we water it, think of a fire, okay? If you create a fire and you're using like two sticks and you're rubbing them together and they create like, the heat, the friction, and then all of a sudden it gets little embers and it's smoking. What if how does that fire grow? It grows through you putting on little kindling. What if you get a little bit of smoke and you throw a huge log on? it's going to smoke. It's going to go out because you threw a huge log on. So it's putting a little bit on and a little more 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 and a little more and a little more. And then every time you put a little bit more on, a little bit more, what happens to the fire? It grows a little bit. And then eventually, if you keep putting a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more, you have this raging fire. But even when the fire is raging, what happens if you don't keep putting more on the fire? It eventually goes out, right? And so your vision is very similar. And so your vision, we talked about in prep week and even last week a little bit, that you're going to have challenging days. You're going to have challenging moments. You're going to have challenging times in these next 6 months where you're like, what was I thinking? Like, I just want the junk food. I don't care if I stay fluffy forever. Like, I just want the junk food. Like, you'll have moments where your inner fluffy girl, mine's name is Barbara. There's times where Barbara was just like, give me the freaking cheesecake. Like, give me the chalupa. Like, I don't care about skinny jeans today. I want the chalupa, right? Like, where your inner fluffy person is like, and then you're going to have days where, Barbara's like sleeping in and she's quiet, but then other days she's trying to get out. And so you're going to have moments where you want to give up, you want to give in, you want to eat the thing that you said you wouldn't eat. And it is your vision which pushes you past those obstacles. It's your vision what gets you through the moments where you want to give up and you want to give in. It's the vision that gets you past the hard times. And when there is no vision present, it makes those hard times so much harder. Okay. So with vision, it's about vision is helping you to believe what you cannot see. Because most of us have these two different, we have fear and faith, right? Faith that I hope this works, and then fear of what if it doesn't. And so a vision, creating a vision, and part of the reason why people walk in, faith, having faith is believing in something that you cannot see. That's having faith. It's the ability to see something in here that your eyes cannot see. That's having faith, right? And so a vision helps you see the thing that you cannot see yet. It helps create the picture inside of your brain. And so before your body ever matches up with who you want to be, you've got to become that person in here first. And so I'll give you an example. So when I asked myself the question, if failure wasn't an option, what would the size of my butt look like? What would my closet look like? What would I wear on date nights? What would my lingerie look like? What kind of bathing suits would I have? What kind of photo shoots would I have? Where would I shop? What kind of activities would I do with my kids? Eventually, when my husband and I renew our vows, what will my wedding dress look like? Because when I got married, I had a size 24 wedding dress. Okay. So eventually I know that we're going to renew our vows and all the things, right? And I will not be in a size 24 wedding dress. So I was asking myself all those questions, and I started creating the person that I wanted to become. I started thinking by answering the question. And again, what is the question? If failure wasn't an option, if you were taking failure off the table, what would this part of my life look like? And I was just like, well, I instantly, and part of me didn't know because I had not allowed myself to dream that big in a very long time. I hadn't allowed myself to actually picture myself as a smaller person or to get excited about the future at all. Because what does the society say once we get older and we start, we have a kid or two or grandkids, we get like, we're aging, like what does society like, what are we supposed, we have the mom bod, the dad bod, right? Is what society tells us. And so I refuse to accept any of that. Obviously, you guys do too. That's why you're in here. And I really believe, think about it. Most of society doesn't want that anyway. It's what they've settled for. But if society wanted that, if society wanted a dad bod and a mom bod, then the diet industry would not be a multi-billion-dollar industry. If that is what people really wanted. And, I don't like diet culture because diet is doing one activity until you get to a certain result and then going backwards. It doesn't work. And I don't believe the diet industry really wants us all to succeed because most of us are repeat customers. They make a lot of money off of our repeat business, right? I mean, how many of us have done multiple diets before? Multiple things. Go ahead, wave at me. Yep, all of us. They love all of us, right? They're like, yep, there she goes again. There he goes again. Chang, 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 chang. And so when I started asking myself those questions, it was like, okay, yeah, if failure wasn't an option, like where would I shop? And I can remember going to Pinterest and I created a board called Carmen's Skinny Clothes. Now, some of you are like, Carmen, it's not about being skinny, it's about being fit. And I believe it's about being healthy. And yes, that's what I tell my kids, and that's what I believe now. But back then, I had never been called skinny. I had never been called tiny. And there was a fluffy girl inside of me that just wanted someone to say, gosh, she's skinny. Man, she's tiny. Like, what size pants are those? I did not care about being healthy. Like, yes, I wanted to be healthy, but I wanted to be skinny first. And so I had my Pinterest board that said Carmen's Skinny Clothes. And I had jeans with tops tucked in, like bodysuits tucked in with no Spanx and nothing, no layers, right? I had over the knee boots. I had short skirts and crop tops. I had bikinis. I had like all these crazy things that I had always like, again, if I allowed myself to dream and I was walking in faith, not fear, what would I dress like? What would I look like? What would I wear on date nights? What would, all the things. And then it was like, okay, so what would I wear for photos? Like if we were having family photos and I wasn't worried about not looking fluffy, what would I wear? And I started literally creating my future. And so it's really thinking about from a complete faith level, if failure wasn't an option, what would my life look like? And when you start getting your vision, it gives you, it's kind of like a GPS. Your vision is your coordinates of where you're going. So think about a GPS. A GPS is an amazing invention that helps us navigate where we're going. Saves time. We don't have to carry an atlas around in our car or a map and look at where we're going. I'm old enough that I still can remember doing that when I first learned how to drive. And then MapQuest came along and, we all thought MapQuest was amazing. You'd print off the directions. And then they had the Garmin and the TomTom like that. And then now we can just all do it from our phones and or our cars and whatever. But so if I have the GPS on my phone and I don't press in the coordinates, but I have my map up, what does it do? If I don't press in the coordinates, does it tell me where to go? Does it tell me to turn? If I don't press in the coordinates, all my GPS does is follow me. It literally follows me wherever I go. The broad doesn't tell me, turn around now, turn around now. She just lets me go wrong way, doesn't care. But as soon as I enter in the coordinates of where I want to go, I press navigate, I press go, and then what does it do? It brings up the shortest, the fastest route. It reroutes me around detours, and it gets me to my destination the quickest, fastest, most efficient way possible. All right. And then if I make a wrong, what if? Little GPS is telling me where to go. And all of a sudden I make a wrong turn. Does she gently say, hello, dear, you so made a wrong turn. Could you please turn around now? Is that what she does? No, she's pushy. Turn around now. Make a U-turn now. I tried to give mine a French accent because I thought it would sound nicer because I normally just mute her. And now it talks French and I don't know how to get it back. So now it just parlez-vous, da, da, da. Can't understand a freaking thing. Whatever. So think about how powerful a GPS when it has the coordinates. Without the coordinates, same technology, same power, but it can't direct you. Your vision is the same way. When you have a vision, it directs you on where to go. Your vision is like your compass. It is like your guiding light. It's like your North Star. When you have a vision, you naturally have more self-control. You naturally have more self-discipline because you have a place you're going. And when you start making a wrong turn, there's that thing inside of you saying, Mayday, Mayday, cookies ahead, turn around now. Off track, beep, wrong answer. Let's avoid this detour, right? Save 6 minutes by going this way. save 2 weeks by going this way, save 2 months by going this way. Like your vision is going to reroute you around all the things that are going to try to distract you. But without the vision, without the coordinates, without you knowing where you're going, and that's what a vision is. It's telling you where you're going. It's making up your mind, here's where I'm going. And so I want to encourage you guys that this is your time to dream big, to go all in, to realize that anything is possible. Like anything is possible, but you've got to believe it. I can show you all the examples of how my impossible thing came to pass, of how my impossible thing. But if you sit there and you're like, yeah, but that's Carmen, she's just super duper special. And you believe that it only happened to me because I'm somehow this special human. No. I did the things that I'm telling you. I did the things that I'm teaching you. I'm giving you the same tools that I used. And if you use those tools, those same things will happen. We have over 100 before and after pictures of people that have gone before you that are proof of what can happen if you follow the program. But you first have to believe it. You have to start to see it. You have to start to dream it. You have to start allowing yourself to get excited for the possibility that lies ahead in your future. And so the question that I have for you tonight is, and obviously you're going to need to spend some time on this, right? Because you're not going to know right now, bam, here's everything. But what we're going to do tonight is we're going to just start cultivating this. We're going to start working on this. We're going to start getting your wheels turning. I want you to start getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. I want you to start getting comfortable with allowing yourself to dream again and to talk about it. What is your vision for your health? Where do you want to be 1 year from today? Where do you want to be 1 year from today? And I know you're not going to have all the answers, but I just want you to start to verbalize what that would look like.
All right, where do I want to be in a year? I want to be comfortable out in public, and that includes my son's baseball games. I want to be excited about being in family photos, not dreading them and then looking at them and not being happy. And going out in public, I mentioned my son's baseball games. It's also to the beach, to a pool, just enjoying life. I want to be able to fit comfortably in an airplane seat. And I want to be able to walk in my closet and have so many clothes to choose from because they all fit me, because my weight is stable. Those are the things that I'm looking forward to.
Hi, guys. In 1 year from today, I want to be stronger. I want to be happier. I want to be able to run around and keep up with my baby.
Oh, hold on. You're muted.
Oh no, what happened? Should I start all over again?
You want to run around to keep up with your baby, and then it just
Yes, I want to run around and be able to keep up with my toddler. I really want to take those holiday photos with my family and feel comfortable. I want to be able to feel comfortable in whatever I'm wearing and not feel like I have to always cover up and wear these baggy clothes. What else? I want to run a 10K. It's a personal goal of mine. I like to run. And also, I also live in Texas, so I'd like to wear shorts and actually feel comfortable. Yeah.
job. And again, all of you guys need to remember, this is a starting point. This is a starting point. This is where you're starting. This is starting to get some of the thoughts out of your head. But as the next couple weeks, the next couple weeks go on, you're going to be adding to this. You're going to be putting, again, this is where we just got the wood going and we're starting to get some smoke. But this week, if we want to get that fire going, we got to just keep adding little things to keep working on the vision. The truth is, friends, most people spend more time planning for their wedding or their vacation than they ever do their goals in their life. Most time we say what we want to do, but we don't put the time into fueling it by creating a vision. And so when I tell you this, and believe me, I'll be reminding you every day that this really is a game changer. Like, I cannot stress enough what a game changer you investing the time into you in creating your vision is. Like, it really is. It really is the thing that changes the game. So awesome job, Sam. Stephanie.
So I think in a year from now, I would love to be the fit mom at the park, you know, and taking my kids hiking again, and we go kayaking, and the shorts. I live in Texas too, so the shorts are really important. Not to like get too detailed, but I'd really like to develop my glutes for those shorts, which I've never really done. And like my arms, I want my arms to be thin and toned, and I want to be like 130 pounds, and like a nice capsule wardrobe of everything that just fits, and is comfortable. That way I feel like I can go anywhere at any time and just, I'll be great, I'll feel good. So more energy and more confidence, I guess, too.
Yeah.
So a year from now, I want to be able to go walking and hiking without my knees hurting. I've actually had bone on bone Osgood-Schlatter disease in my knees since 3rd grade. So I want to lose my weight so that I can walk and hike without that hurting. And I want to be able to not have to wear big baggy clothes to hide all the fluff that's underneath it. Be able to go into my closet and wear whatever outfit I'm feeling for the day. Be able to take family photos and not try to like stand in the back or like turn myself at certain angles so that I don't look as big and so I don't feel ashamed of myself. I'm able to go to the beach and wear whatever I want to wear. But my main motivation is I want to be able to wear sexy lingerie for my husband. And I actually have bought my halfway dress and my final goal dress. They're actually hanging in my closet right now.
That's amazing. Good job. That is amazing, Karen. I love that you had the faith and the cojones to do that. It takes some cojones to be like, here's what I'm wearing. Like, to actually put your money where your mouth is and order it. That's amazing. Listen, all of y'all should find your most favorite outfit that you're going to get into and order it and put it somewhere.
All right. So if failure wasn't an option, and in a year from now, I am going to be off my medications that I've been on. I won't need to take naps anymore. I will be a size 3, 4, but I hear size 2, so I'm like starting to feel it. And I'll weigh about 130 pounds. My knee won't hurt anymore. I need to get it fixed so it doesn't buckle. So that way, when I go on trips and vacations with my kids, that I'm not the one like keeping them behind, but maybe I'm the one leading them and like, hey, keep up with me kind of thing, rather than like, oh, there's mom back there. I would be able to just buy, in a year from now, I could just go to Amazon or whatever online store and just buy clothes and not even worry. I could buy size 2 and not wear anything and not have to wear like, oh, is it going to be too pudgy, or do I have to get something big to, hide the gut or anything like that, right? So I won't even have to do any of that anymore. I won't be self-conscious. I won't have to spend my summers inside and making excuses. I'm in Texas as well, San Antonio. And so I won't have to make excuses to stay inside. Instead, I'll get back to wearing like the tank tops and the shorts and looking all cute and all that fun stuff. Looking lean, have that lean cut physique. Got to put the bikini back on the list, right? Definitely wear a bikini. I I want to get my sexy back, you know, I want to get that hot marriage again. Everything that you talked about lingerie, game on, I'm on for it. I've always wanted one of those boudoir sessions, you know, for my husband and for me. And of course, the beach family pictures, but I also want to do that like I was in Hawaii in the summer, and I stayed clear of like the beach pictures, the flyaway dress on that like cliff looking all awesome. I want to that in a year I'm going to have that. And just get that like J-Lo, Salma Hayek look.
You're up, dude.
Okay. Can you? So when you started talking about vision, it made me think of a dream I had. I don't know, it was a couple weeks ago. And I dreamt that I was jumping up and hitting the rim of a basketball goal, which is something, I'm 5'7", and that's something I used to do when I was, I don't know, teenager, 16 to 20. And I have no idea where that dream came from, but I'm thinking it was the skinny me trying to jump out. So that's the only thing I can think of why I dreamt that. But so another thing is just kind of the whole, you know, family pictures, like they stand up straight so they ain't nothing sticking out, you know, and okay, hurry, take the picture. And so, and another thing is going on trips. So a lot of times I pack most of my clothes, but sometimes my wife throws in some shirts. She likes these shirts, and I'm like, why in the hang did you put that shirt in? Well, she's like, well, why not? I'm like, and I put it on and the button's screaming, and I'm like, that's why. So I want to be able to wear all the shirts, whatever's in my closet. That's what I want to wear. So anyway, so much for that. I mean, that's kind of my vision, is just some of those things, be able to wear whatever I want. Now that I think of the dream, I'm going to hit the rim at 48 years old. Well, maybe I'll be 49 because my birthday's in October, so a year from now. So that's what I'm gonna do.
That's amazing. No more screaming buttons.
Nope. Nope.
Awesome job. You know, and it's as we continue on this journey, right? So hopefully just in the last week, you've started to, I love what Christina said, hopefully this has happened a little bit for all of you. You've started to actually think, what if? Like, what if? Like, what if I could? Like, what if this did work? Like, what if I was small? Like, what if I could shop in any normal store? Like, what if I could wear a bathing suit and be comfortable and confident? Like, you've started to have those what if questions go off inside. You've started to feel yourself getting excited again about the possibility of you. And there's nothing like you being 100% happy with who you are, comfortable and confident in your own skin, fully free to be who you were created to be. And so as we go on this week, I want you to start, you know, tonight we've started to do this with the wood, and we've got the little flames going, and you've started thinking about if failure wasn't an option, what would my future health look like? What would my butt look like? What would my wardrobe look like? You started to ask yourself those questions. So this week, I want you to be intentional about not only adding to that vision, cultivating the vision, growing the vision, but starting to speak to the person you're becoming. Starting to speak to where you're going and not where you've been. Starting to work on the first steps in becoming her or him in here. And when that happens, I am telling you, there is no thing, no person, no obstacle, nothing too big on this planet that can get in your way and stop you. There's nothing. No matter how many years you failed, no matter how many times you failed, there's nothing that will stop you.